Fulgentio Capulet. Romeo and Juliet. Play, 1595.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
This is a Shakespearean tragedy of epic proportions, and by that, I mean it's one of those plays that they make you read at school when the English teacher wants to look knowledgeable, with the advantage of at least getting to laugh at the kids who don't know how to pronounce Mongatu. If you're lucky, you'll get to see a cheesy 1970s BBC rendition starring half the cast from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy instead of reading it, but either way, count on having to write an essay about why Shakespeare decided to forego the inclusion of an underlying unifying theme. Or some such. I could scream. I really could. I actually quite like a lot of Shakespeare. Unfortunately, school ruined this particular play for me, even if it wasn't grindingly depressing all by itself. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene, the two rival families, Montague and Capulet, really don't get on. They become something of a pain in the arse to the local authorities, who declare that any further hassle will be punishable by death. Lord Fulgentio Capulet is the guy running the Capulet family. He is ambitious and self-centered. A social climber who places riches above almost all other priorities, in spite of the fact that he already has what many a banker would describe as a flipping great wadges of cash. He throws a party to try to hook his daughter up with Paris, a popular local aristocrat. Romeo, a Montague, sneaks into this party, and falls head over codpiece for Juliet, before Paris even gets to leer at her over the top of his wine glass. The after-party results in Romeo sneaking out to hide under Juliet's balcony, where he professes his undying love for her. You know, that whole
What soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun.
The whole thing escalates very quickly, and they marry the next day, in secret. The idea being that their union will unite the two warring families. The next day there's a bit of a cock-up resulting in the fatal stabbing of two people, Tybalt the Capulet, and Mercutio the Montague.
Right, so, it's a fight. Here goes. Obviously it'll be better when I've got my tights on. Away to heaven, respected lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt!
As a result, Romeo is banished from Verona on pain of death. It's at this point that Fulgentio Capulet decides that Juliet really should wed the aristocrat, Paris, even if they didn't hit it off at the party the other night. He doesn't realize that Juliet is already married. He refuses to listen to her protests. Eventually, after much protesting, he attacks her and threatens to throw her out onto the street if she does not comply. His tyranny in even refusing to delay the wedding basically results in the rest of the tragedy playing out. Juliet takes a potion to put herself into a coma for a couple of days, to delay the wedding to Paris, conspiring with a friendly friar to allow her and Romeo to get together once more. I've always been a bit iffy about the reasoning here, but have at it, I guess. The idea is that the friar will tell Romeo of the plan, so when he turns up, he can wait for her to wake up, and they can ride off happily into the sunset. Romeo doesn't get the message. Believing Juliet to be dead, he buys some poison from the local apothecary, and goes to the Capulet crypt. He finds Paris there mourning, and using technical terminology, murders him to death. He then takes the poison and snuffs it, lying next to Juliet. Juliet then wakes up, realizes Romeo is an ex-parrot who has ceased to be, and stabs herself to death with his dagger. The rest of the family then all bimble ineptly into the crypt to figure out what the hell is going on, and realize that things have apparently gotten a bit messy. Fulgentio at this point realizes that he's been a complete turd helmet, and somberly promises to reform his ways. Locking the door after the horse has bolted, somewhat, but okay, he vows to end the feud between the Capulets and the Montagues. Everyone lives happily ever after. Well, apart from Tybalt, Mercutio, Paris, Romeo, and I guess, Juliet, and probably a couple of others I've forgotten along the way.
For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo,